You know, my brother and I, we don't get along as well now, but as adults with his kids, it was like us against the parents.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, we got along because
Right.
You know,
and we didn't
I'm
tattletale because we didn't want to get the
You
other.
know I'm videoing right
I don't care. I don't know, but they just. And then when we fight, we just stay away from each other. But these two they'll stay in the same room and just fight. So just go to your rooms. Stay away from each other.
Yeah. You guys gotta give Mom a break.
Sean is coming. Mom, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I want to go on bed again. I just explained I don't want to go home. I want to go home again.
It is safe now to Greenfield Village and the Greenfield Village Railroad. For the safety of our younger riders, we ask that the adults with them place themselves on the outside of the road. If that's not practical, please hold them or have them easily in your reach. Remain seated until we come to a complete stop. Keep all your body parts inside of the car. No eating, no smoking. Thank you. Our trip around Greenfield Village should take approximately 30 minutes. We'll have 2 additional stops. Please sit back and enjoy the ride. Greenfield Village is divided into historic districts. The Henry Ford Model T District is first on the left, as we can enjoy a ride on an authentic Model T through the interior of the village. Visit Henry Ford's birthplace. It's the white farmhouse built in 1861. He was born there in 1863. He moved to here in 1944 from 3¼ miles away, which is on the corner of Ford Road and Greenfield Road.
We're gonna go by the they live a long way away. What?
Main Street District is where the Wright Brothers Home and Cycle Shops are. They're authentic buildings coming to us from Dayton, Ohio, built in the 1870s. Learn about the beginning of aviation there. Visit Mrs. Cohen's Millinery Shop in downtown Detroit, built about 1860. Next to her is the H.J. Heinz Building, built in 1835 in Sharpsburg, Pennsylvania. And Sir John Bennett's Food Shop in the one living room on Main Street. Behind the Ford Motor Company to the left is the loading dock for the barbecue yard. Edison Networks is the next historic district. Thomas Edison is credited with 1,093 U.S. patents, then going from England, France, and Germany. On the village green is the Logan County Courthouse that Abraham Lincoln practiced law, built in 1840 in Lincoln, Illinois. The gray building here is the rebuilt Menlo Park Laboratory. And the gold building we're approaching is Sarah Jordan's boarding house. Many of the men who worked for Edison at the lab lived there. It's one of the first buildings in the United States wired for electricity. Next to Sarah Jordan is Edison's official Fort Myers, Florida laboratories. And around the corner from him is the Luther Burbank Garden Office, the only building from the west coast of the United States in the village, built in 1906 in Santa Rosa, California. The 1832 actually covered bridge comes to us from southwest Pennsylvania. This is the entranceway in the porches and parlors district. Here you can visit historic homes such as Noah Webster's 1823 home from New Haven, Connecticut, Robert Frost home, the Maddox farmhouse, the Hermitage slave quarters, McGuffey's cabin all up on Maple Lane, and more. The other side of the bridge and up that sidewalk to the right, the sandstone complex is the Cotswold Cottage, built in 1619 in Chatsworth County, England. Our first stop will be directly ahead here. This is Susquehanna Station. We'll be here for 4 minutes. Choose to get off here. There'll be another train coming back in 15 minutes. We're running 2 trains till about 2:30. And then we'll go back down to, one train just for about an hour. And we close down today at 3 o'clock due to the Detroit Symphony Orchestra playing for the Salute to America this evening. So we have a shortened day today. Remain seated until you hear the whistle from up front. Once you hear that whistle, then you can get up and exit to the left. If you're going to the ball game, this is your stop. People at the far north end of Greenfield Village is at the top of the map. The white building is the Susquehanna Plantation, built in the early 1800s, comes to us from St. Mary's County, Maryland, on the Patuxent River. 700 acres of tobacco, wheat, and corn. The rust-colored building is the oldest American-made building in the village, dating to the early 1600s, the Plimpton House, where Mr. and Mrs. Plimpton raised 7 children in that one-room building in South Sudbury, Massachusetts. The windmill is the Ferris windmill, considered the oldest in the United States, built in 1640 on Cape Cod. It was a gift to Henry Ford by his National Dealer Association in 1936. The dark gray building next to it is the Daggett Farmhouse, dating to 1754 from Andover, Connecticut. If you get the opportunity, stop back. Today, talk to those people in period clothing. They love to talk about life in this country before the American Revolution. Horses are Percheron draft horses, those gentle giants that do a lot of work in Greenfield Village, pulling the carts and wagons, working the farms. They get their legs off the hard surfaces of Greenfield Village, back out on the terra firma for 4 days in the road relaxing before they're put back into service throughout the village. The historic locomotive pulling us today is the number 7 Detroit and Lima Northern Railway steam locomotive, built in 1897. One of the 80 locomotives and 2,500 freight cars from the Detroit, Toledo, and Ironton Railroad that Henry Ford purchased in 1920. He took a liking to this locomotive and used it all through the 1920s for his personal use. The 8-foot serpentine wall on the right side was built in 1953, separates Greenfield Village from the Ford test track, where cars and trucks are tested before production. The area we're going through now is a wetland and wildlife preserve. There are some white-tailed deer, fox, and coyote back here. Various birds such as blue herons, white-eared red-tailed hawks, turkeys, and cormorants. I'll get off the bike here and stay quiet until we get to the other side of the wooded area. Give you a chance to sit back and contemplate riding on the steam locomotive in the 1800s. field over here is Walnut Grove. It's an activities field. Throughout our season, we do many things in park out here. Now, every Saturday and Sunday is historic baseball, using 1867 baseball rules. The baseball gloves are optional when not full. As you can see, there's the fans come out here very early. There's some seats up on the hill. And just enjoy the historic baseball rules. The buildings up on a hill on the backside of porches and parlors, the red brick building, Noah Webster's building. The large complex we're approaching is the Henry Ford Academy. It's a charter high school. Over 525 students attend. They're selected through a lottery system from Lima County. Graduation rate exceeding 95%. The curriculum focus is on science, technology, engineering, the arts, and math. The 10th, 11th, and 12th graders have classrooms out here in the village. The 9th graders are in the indoor museum. When Henry Ford opened Greenfield Village in 1829, he wanted to convey the inspiration of the American genius to the students. With Henry Ford, it was students first. He could be seen with them in the classrooms and on field trips. He wanted to inspire them through America's traditions of ingenuity, resourcefulness, and innovation. We continue that here today. These three Pullman cars we're approaching on the left are attached in the center. They're part of the senior classrooms. On the left side of a small white stone building is the Martha Mary Chapel, the non-denominational chapel, very popular for weddings throughout our season. The name comes from Henry Ford's mother-in-law, Martha, and Mother Mary. It's one of the original buildings here. The long green building is the Tasty History. It's a cafeteria style restaurant. And connected to it, a little farther down, is a white building, the Eagle Tavern, built in 1830 in Clinton, Michigan, about 50 miles away. There's where you can experience a sit-down meal with people serving in a very closure. We'll be making a slight right turn here, heading on to Greenwood Junction, stopping at Smith Street Depot platform. We'll be there for 4 minutes and then depart with the conductor town aboard up to the main gate. If you choose to get off here, you're in walking distance to the 1913 Herschel Spillman Carousel, the playground. Edison Illuminating Company in Smith Street Depot. Remain seated, please. Wait for the whistle from the engineer. Once you hear the whistle, then you can get up and exit to the left. Left side open. You're safe now to exit on the left-hand side. For those of you just joining us, welcome to the Greenfield Village Railroad. Once again, for your personal safety, please remain seated while the train's in motion. Keep your head, arms, legs, and feet inside the cars at all times. Parents, if you're boarded with little ones, please place yourselves on the outside of the row. If that is not practical, make sure they're held or easily within your reach.
See what happens. No.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Thank you.
Ever taken them out?
And they say every other day we have a book. They have something else in their book. Some other book. Because they have the whole system working.
So you tell them about the 34.
They might take the whole 34.
We'll say goodbye to Mike here at Smith Creek. We now begin our journey to the front at Firestone Station. If you ever have a chance, stop by our Smith Creek Train Depot, built in 1858 by Grand Trunk Railroad. First stop on its way from Port Huron down to Detroit. It was located 8.5 miles southwest of Port Huron in the countryside. So the station master and family were allowed to live at the depot and conduct railroad operations. I've just been informed that we are stopping at the water tower. We will be filling up the tender. Now I ask everybody to please do not lean out the side. The spout is in the center of the tender. You will not see anything. You also run the risk of falling out of the car. Look straight forward through the glass windows and you'll be able to watch him fill up the tender. Okay, we're stopping by right now the roundhouse. This one came from Marshall, Michigan. It was built in 1884 by Detroit, Toledo, and Milwaukee. Purpose was for the service and maintenance of steam locomotives. We carry on that tradition today as a working roundhouse with the 3 coal-fired locomotives and diesel electric that we operate here during the season. The main building, though, is still closed to the general public, but you're welcome to walk by the front doors and take a look inside.
I know what they're gonna do. I cannot see that.
It has a little sleeve there to help keep it in as it goes down.
Mom, is that dangerous? You know what is that? It is. Mom, how did he do that? Mom, that water dirty.
Okay, we now have permission to proceed to the front. Just past the roundhouse, we'll see the backside of Liberty Craft Works and our sawmill. The sawmill comes from Tipton, Michigan. We're now approaching the Firestone Farm District. This was home to Harvey Firestone, founder of the Firestone Rubber and Tire Company. You're welcome to stop by the farmhouse, go inside and see what life was like in the 1860s. You can even go into the barn to see all the livestock that were raised here on the farm. In the pasture on your right you can see our two dairy cattle. They were descendants of the original breed, first brought over by the early colonists for milk and for food. The dark brown one's name is Azalea, the speckled one, Marigold. It is a tradition for where they came in Ohio to name the female cows after flowers. The male bulls earned the presidents' and generals' names. Now, as you come into Smith Creek, please look about you. Make sure you have all of your belongings as well as cell phones. And then if you would, remain seated until we come to a complete stop. Once the whistle sounds, it will be safe to exit on the right-hand side. Please wait for that whistle. It is now safe to exit. Was the birthplace of Henry Ford. He was born here on July 30th, 1863. Farm was located just outside Detroit, and the family raised sheep.